Hello, Gargoyle Nation. Welcome back. As always, now and forever, I am your host, Desi C, and there is quite a bit to go through in this one. There's a lot of who did what, so gonna try and go through this as painlessly as possible. So the last time this was discussed between Diamond Distributors and NECA, first Diamond still had to go to court. They had simply declared Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So, that's where that had been. NECA, of course, then was still being silent on what was happening on their end. So it was essentially, little things had happened, but none of the big moves had happened. But since then, some big moves have been made. So in March of this year, 2025, Alliance Entertainment acquired Diamond's major assets. For those of you who don't know, Alliance is a publicly traded global wholesaler and distributor who lists music, movies, video games, electronics, arcades, and collectibles amongst the products that they offer. And with the purchase of Diamond, they were adding comics to the list. And apparently, Diamond didn't like that. They actually didn't want Alliance taking possession of their assets. And also they thought Ad Populum, who owns NECA, and Universal Distribution had won the bid for their assets. So of course, Alliance sued because they had won, and this is essentially what you do. So yes, Alliance sued, and they won. So everything was theirs essentially. But then in late April, they decided they didn't want Diamond's assets anymore. I didn't find anything saying as to why they decided to change their mind, but this is also a thing of they're allowed to go back until papers are officially signed. Everything is up in the air, really. So they canceled their agreement to buy Diamond in late April. Essentially because of all this, the whole thing, it went from a Chapter 11 sale to a Chapter 7 liquidation, and then it returned to a Chapter 11 sale. This is all, again, I'm Canadian, half of the stuff just goes boom, but that's why I'm not in that business. I just know. So as of this week, the sale of Diamond Distribution to Universal Distribution and Ad Populum has been completed. So Alliance pulled out. They didn't want the assets anymore. And essentially Universal and Ad Populum were next in line. And this was also these were also the companies that Diamond wanted, because they thought, that's why that whole thing had happened, that a whole other lawsuit had happened. So they did end up winning. So there you go. And yes, everything is now finalized. So Universal has acquired the assets of Alliance Game Distributors, not the same Alliance that I was just talking about, obviously. And Ad Populum has acquired the assets of Diamond Comics Distributors, Diamond Book Distributors, Diamond Select Toys, CGA, and some others. Which, because of this, now means Diamond Select Toys, Gentle Giant, and NECA are sister companies, which is kind of cool. Like, at least for me, I've known some things that Gentle Giant does, and their work is beautiful. So again, it was, I don't like it when companies merge and make one essential giant company, but at least it was a thing of, hey, they're still there, right? But that's unfortunately not where the story ends. And it never does, right? It's never that clean cut and simple, is it? For retailers, so those of you people who are selling comics, it's been announced that Diamond's Comic Suite, Pull Box, and their website tech support department are being laid off. So for retailers selling comics and using Diamond Comics point of sale or pull box services, you should be backing up your data as a precaution because, yeah, those services are down. There's no more tech support for that. I've read that it can easily be downloaded into an Excel sheet. Just want to make sure that those of you who may be selling comics and happen to be watching this channel and everything, don't want you to be losing the info that you have in your system. So please do get on that if you haven't yet. I'm pretty sure most of you already know it's not like they're hiding this info. And on top of that, Diamond Select Toys has been shut down. Yes, the entire team has been let go and operations have completely ended. So yeah, remember how I said Diamond Select Toys along with Gentle Giant and NECA were going to be sister companies? Yeah, Gentle Giant is gone too. There's no word yet if they'll be folded into Ad Populum's other brands like NECA. But that's because, licensing is tricky. Diamond Select Toys and Gentle Giant, they had figures and products with brands from Marvel, The Muppets, Tron, Kingdom Hearts, Star Wars, Nightmare Before Christmas, Ghostbusters, like you name it, they pretty much had it. So it's that part that's really the hiccup to just, oh yeah, we'll just take it and go. Licensing deals are usually made with that company, not just, oh, you've sold, so we'll move the licensing agreement to your new owners. It's usually you have to sign new contracts. So fingers crossed, but I'm kind of not holding my breath on that one. And as for NECA, because again, in my last video, NECA was staying silent on everything and they just weren't saying anything. So as for NECA and our beloved Gargoyles figures, still no official word. I mean, it has been long enough to pretty much safely say, yeah, it is probably done. When a company goes this long without announcing anything, it's usually a safe bet, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in my last video. I am, of course, still going to hold up a little bit of hope because as a Gargoyles fan, that's what we do. We just kind of hope and go, hey, we went, again, how many years without anything Gargoyles, and now we're just being overloaded with Gargoyles merch and stories. So, again, you never know. Consider it dead for now. It may rise once again. But yet, like I said, in the meantime, we have statues being released by PCS and Mondo. Greg's still churning out stories, so we're still getting goodies. Like, we are still getting good stuff. It just, for the meantime, for NECA, probably done. Probably. But again, as stated, the owner of NECA, Ad Populum, has been dealing with this other stuff. So essentially they were putting money towards this sale. Maybe that's why. Who knows? And this would also, it's unfortunate that so many comics were going through Diamond Select distributors and all that, because my goodness, for Free Comic Book Day, at least here in Canada, it didn't seem to be an issue in the States, but getting comics was a bit of a headache. And if you watched my video from Free Comic Book Day, I did say I had to go to multiple comic book stores just to find Demona number 0. I talked to friends, and yeah, it was essentially no store got the same stock. So it was a mad dash to try and find what you wanted. Didn't seem to be a problem in the States. So it was, yeah, one of those things. So hopefully for next year's Free Comic Book Day, first of all, hopefully it still goes on. And second of all, hopefully everything is, resolved by then so that we don't have any more of these types of issues. And yes, so as always, the socials are linked down below. Check out the Patreon. Do make sure to share and sub. I am again trying to reach those 1,000 subs by October 11th so we can do a live stream. We're getting closer and closer by the week. And as always, be kind to yourselves, be kind to one another, and be the good that you want to see in the world. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye.